What's up? It's GhostLuvMe, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard.
I got the hydro and lean, little bitch thinks that I need her. I got the money and means, little bitch you don't have me.
All right, so we got my boy GhostLuvMe jumping off the porch with us one more time. Welcome. How you feeling, man?
Feeling great.
Yes, sir, man. Welcome back, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So, it's been about a year. How would you describe like your 2022, man?
Just working pretty much the whole year, just grinding, like just making a lot more songs, just honing in the sound, honing in a lot of new sounds, and just trying different stuff.
Yeah.
Music-wise, yeah.
Okay. And last year you were living in LA. You still out there now?
No, I had to go just because it's like, there's really nothing out there, and I think like for a certain type of industry, it's good, but for what I do and what I am really like known as, like I like to put out multiple tapes, all kind of stuff. I don't really do like the industry parties and stuff, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So even if hey, come buy this, I won't come buy it. It's just not I'm bigger, I don't like to be shoulder to shoulder with people, or even in a small group of people really, because it's just weird.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of other people say the same thing, so.
Now, you easily get burnt out on them industry parties, those events and everything too, man. So
yeah,
I fully understand that.
I think it only took me like one.
One of them, and that was it, huh?
Yeah, I think like after that, I didn't want to go anymore. I went to some other stuff, but nah.
Yeah.
It's not really a rapper thing. I think it's more like an executives thing. Like
okay.
They enjoy it more, like, like the managers and like people like that, like the behind the scenes people.
Yeah.
For sure.
So how you like being in Atlanta so far then?
It's cool. It's like much more like a working city. So like if you want to get a lot of music done, connect with producers, other artists, and just work, this is the city for it. So versus LA, it's a lot more like really like for shopping deals, meeting with labels and other stuff. I'm not saying people aren't out there connecting, but I just didn't feel the same kind of like readiness to work. Like you could then there call somebody in Atlanta like that day, they're ready. They're ready. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's an engineer, producer, artist, like, okay, let's go. And that's different than LA is like, all right, blah, 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 okay, it's a lot of back and forth before you really like get people to it's just gonna keep jingling around. I'm gonna take this shit off.
Okay. No, that's understood, man. So saw you was at Rolling Loud. Got the chance to perform there in Miami, right?
Yeah, I only did like a couple songs. I was like brought out. I didn't do like an official set, but it was still cool.
Yeah.
It was yeah. So. How
was the crowd's reaction though? Because like you said, you weren't on the bill, so were we expecting you, or did you catch them off guard?
It's weird. People actually know that one song, the song with Got It, the Buddy Holly song.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, because it's not like through the roof on streams or anything, but I think it's just like a little cult following on the song, because whenever the song plays anywhere, people like react to it right off the bat, whether it's a club, anywhere. So it's always like, I don't know where they're hearing it or who's listening to it. They should listen to it more, but it definitely that has an effect. Then, I really should just like me performing. That's where I definitely gotta like test it more and do like more certain type of songs, especially more known stuff. Because if you come like with a curveball of something new, if you're not like huge, they're not really like prepared for that.
Yeah.
So it's like I did like something known, then I did something new. That's where I think you're like, so it kind of went good, but it was also like a lesson for me to be like, all right, you're not Drake or some shit. You can't just like perform some new song and think people are gonna go wild for it. They're gonna be like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not. So you kind of have to give them something that they expect, at least for a little while.
Yeah, something that they could rap along to and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
If not, they just don't care.
Yeah. So last year you were here, you were promoting the GhostLuvMe album.
Yeah.
How was the feedback when you put it out?
I think positive, for sure. I think people liked it. It sold well and it did well, yeah. So, I mean, at least for me being underground, I'm not like, so my standards of that are different than other people. And like I said, I don't really set any kind of goals or anything. So for me,
You did what you expected to do, or did it succeed?
I don't expect anything to do anything. I don't expect to be anywhere wherever I'm at, I try not to have expectations because that leads to disappointment. You know, if I expect something to go a certain way, it's never gonna go that way.
Yeah.
And two, that's just gonna lead to me worrying a bunch before that. So I'm through with that stuff. Now, am I gonna plan ahead? I'll tell people, it's like, man, not to sound like on some nerd shit, but it's like you're like worried if you don't study for a test. So like, yeah, I'll be worried if I'm putting out a tape and I know it's trash, for sure. But if I know it's good, I'm just gonna put it out. It's gonna do what it's gonna do.
Yeah.
That's it, you know?
No, I got you, man.
You know?
And you got to work with Lil Keed on the album, too.
Yeah, R.I.P. That's
Yeah.
sad.
That was wild. First off, what was like your experience working with him and like the interactions you guys had?
We didn't talk too much, to be honest, but he pulled up like a couple times. He was at a video shoot with me and got it and stuff. He's cool.
Yeah.
For sure. We never really I've talked to God way more.
Okay.
But man, never really, it's weird, man. I'll work with people and some of the people I almost never even meet. I met him, but it's sometimes it's just today's thing, it's almost met through the internet or through other circumstances or somebody else being like, oh, he's dope, you gotta work with him. It's that happens more often than really face-to-face interactions. Sometimes I'll know somebody more through the internet than I'll know them in person. I don't know why, that's just the way the new world is, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Have you talked to Got It since Keed passed away then? Did you reach out to him at all?
Yeah, I've talked to him. I just haven't talked to him about that. I feel like I don't know what to say, you know? I don't really speak on that kind of stuff, my condolences, but, I don't know what to say about that. That's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, long live Keed, man.
Yeah, really talented.
Absolutely, man.
God is really talented too. That's the crazy thing. I hope, if anything comes from the sad situation, it's him getting more shine, too. Because they were both really talented. I always felt like both really underrated. I was always wondering, people listen to their music, but not for as much as good songs they put out, they're not talked about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll hear people talk about some of these random young kids more, and it's be why? I'm not gonna play their music. I'll hear a new song from Got It or something and be like, oh, that's good. That's just my opinion. But,
Yeah. Nah, he's been putting out some heat too recently, so
Yeah.
I think he's on the right path, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this record, man. This Fell in Love, you and Lil Uzi Vert, that leaked. So I don't even know where to start. Should we start how the song was created? How'd y'all get together for this song?
A friend of mine who's a producer connected us, Brandon. But yeah, I don't know how it leaked. I just know a lot of Uzi stuff leaks.
A lot of it, yeah.
I know. Okay, how many GhostLuvMe tracks leak? And I have tracks with other people. It's just and I'm not so. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has that. So I don't know what really happened. I just know, I think him just being, so popular, it's everybody's gonna put out the thing. The weird thing about that track is how it leaked is, and this is the thing, and it's kind of comical in some ways. It's a little kid who's a promoter who was trying to boost his rap career, put his name on it, it was him on the track.
Oh, really?
And I was that was the only thing that I think was funny. And you gotta admit, the comical side of that is okay, so Uzi do a song with a white rapper, and then it's okay, so what, all white people sound alike? That shit funny as hell, though. In some ways, you gotta admit, that was the only part where I was okay, I gotta laugh at this a little bit, and it was so it was really stressful when it happened. I regret that it did happen because it's I almost would have not even sent the song back until it would have came out in a weird way. I wanted them to hear it, but at the same time, or I would have sent it back fully mixed too. Because that was the other thing, it wasn't mixed at all.
Oh, shit.
So it's just not having an unmixed thing, that makes a big difference. I've heard a lot of unmixed records from people and they sound almost like a completely different person. It's weird. And, so I think that's the only regrettable thing about it. But it's cool. I think like, you know, stuff leaks every day, still comes out. You know, the right way or later, it don't really matter. Like, I'm not really like upset about the way the situation worked out, because I think, sure, like from a monetary side, of course, that's a monetary loss, because what, people can already get a record for free. Why the fuck are they gonna stream that shit? I mean, I don't, that's a loss. So, but from a side of like, you know, you live and learn from it. You know, you just gotta be like, well, that's what it's like when you work with people like that, because it's like,
yeah, it's like his music is such a high demand that, like you said, people just grab it, put their name on this shit just to try and get some of that clout off.
yeah, no, yeah, for sure. And the thing is, it worked for the kid for a couple days, I think. Like, and I don't know, like, he's like, oh, people just put my name on it. They thought it was me, and I'm like, sure, like, you know, like.
Did he reach out to you about it, or
No.
or did you reach out to him when you
Like,
found it?
people have, like, you know, I'm not tapped in with the internet, right? Like, my people aren't tapped in with the internet, but like, people are gonna talk eventually and be like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, like, and be like, well, this sound like you. And I mean, the first line said, bitches, GhostLuvMe, I came with a bag. So like, it says that's the only good thing I bet about it, is that thank God I said my name, which I hardly ever do on tracks, but I said it on that song. That was the best part about it. So kind of like, okay, now it's gotta be him, because it's like, it say his name. You know, so that's like the one good thing about it. But like I said, I mean, I think almost all of his other collaborations with all the young guys leak. So Fago, all that shit. I always see all that shit leak. So it's somebody in his camp or something.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be
don't
someone. I don't know if it's an engineer or someone who's got access to his music. It's just,
know. I don't know.
they
Like,
put out so much of his shit. It's
like, it's crazy. I don't know really, like I said, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, like, to be real, I like have low-key even been in his camp and been like, so what happened? Like, just not him directly, but to like people around him, be like, you know, like, tell me, like, the fuck, like, in just a real way, you know, just because it's like, let me know like what's going on here, because I'm personally involved now, you know, which is, and I think it's just a testament to like, some people have like just toxic fan bases, you know, where just like, there's just such a demand that you just become so popular that the fans then like,
they don't care how they get the music. They just want it.
And it just becomes too much. But then they don't realize that it's like, hey, there's other people involved. Like, imagine like, now me, I'll be fine. I'll go and, man, I'll make a bunch of other songs. I got solo songs lit, whatever. But imagine like, that's some random producer, some kid, and that's his only song with Uzi now. Uzi, or whoever artist, let's just say whatever. And then that artist's like, no, I don't want that on the album.
Yeah.
And then, so they block some other dude's blessing just because they're just being greedy. And it's like, it happens so often where it's like, you know, I just don't know why people do it, but it's cool. It's just like, it's just, you know.
I guess it's part of the game at this point.
Yeah, it is for sure. I just think like, it couldn't happen in the old days because it's like, it wasn't electronic. So like, what were you gonna do? Go and steal a reel or something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like a heist. Like, that's some like Ocean's 11 shit. Like,
For real.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I don't know at what point. I mean, that's something somebody in music should be doing, is thinking of like some sort of special encoding. But even then, people are gonna find a way. Like,
Yeah.
it's like these guys are so good, these internet guys, and it's like,
Yeah, even these kids, these hackers, like, they're gonna find a way.
they will find a way. It's just like, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like, they're just gonna find a way. But I think it all worked out for the best, because like I said, it's gonna like, things like that are out of my control. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing I could really do.
Yeah. No, I understood.
So in a sense, it's like, that's the only option. Like, I think like a lot of these kids get like their heads twisted with all the like, oh, parallel universe. Like, that shit's cool in theory and shit, but sometimes it's like, well, what's happening to you right now? right here, you know, and it's like, well, I live in a place where that song leaked. So now how do I react to that? Not, oh, blah, blah, blah. What if it didn't? Well, what, it didn't. You know what I'm
can't
saying?
rewind
Yeah,
time.
that's what I'm like, that's what I try to tell people, and it's like, okay, yeah.
It
so
happened. Now
it
what
happened.
can we do about it?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Going forward, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really what it is.
Understood. And that was produced by Brandon Finessin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's
So-
a friend of mine.
Yeah, talk about that relationship you two guys got.
We met out in LA, and we work a lot. We got a lot of records together. I don't even know how many. Like, maybe 100 or more. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I've been working a lot. I'm gonna release a whole mixtape with him soon, probably next month. I'm just gonna drop it because
I mean, yeah, if you got 100 songs,
yeah, no,
go ahead and
that's
start
no,
getting
that's,
some of them out.
that's really what we're gonna do. Just because I just have so much stuff, and you know, some of the songs even have like other people on them, all kinds of stuff. I just like will just put stuff away forever for some reason. I don't know why, and then just not release it. So maybe that's the one good thing about having stuff leaked is it kind of like forces my hand just to start rolling out, putting out more stuff instead of like sitting on it and just growing old. It doesn't really make sense.
No, that's true, man.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, you and Future linked up, man.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience.
That was cool. He's cool. I fuck with Future. Yeah. Obviously, like, music-wise, he makes the best music, really, out of anybody probably right now. I don't think anybody's like, meeting him is like, it's weirder having music with him would be like the equivalent of like having like music with like Jimi Hendrix or some shit back in the day. It's like, or like, I don't even know, James Brown or something ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it's like, it's on a different level, you know what I'm saying? Than like, even like he's a rapper, but it's different, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he is, but he's also like, really like a superstar. So it's just, it's a different situation. So it's, I mean, shit, linking up with him is always gonna be good.
Oh, yeah.
When it's a song, because it's like, having a song with a superstar, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not? You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
big deal, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the status on that song?
I could drop it whenever.
Okay.
Yeah, I drop it whenever. I might have more shit too.
Are you kind of just waiting for like the right time since it's such a big record, or?
I don't really know. I think, like I do know, but I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Like, so I'm like, I don't like lying. But I'm trying to say it in a slick way, but not say too much. I do know, we do have a plan.
Okay.
I guess that's the best way I can say that. Yeah, we do have a plan, but it's gonna make sense. When everything comes out, especially when my album comes out, people are gonna be like, oh, so that's why that took a little bit longer. That makes sense, but here's like, it's like, people still gonna buy the Cybertruck when it drops. You know what I'm saying?
Even though you talk about this thing for like, what, 2-3 years now, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's still gonna be there. It's like timeless, you know, in a way. And, I think people are just gonna buy the Cybertruck because it looks like the car from Halo too. You seen that? Like the Warthog?
Yeah, it kind of does, right?
Yeah. Because all the other cars are weird. They're like
The
mad,
Teslas.
like, they look like Volvos a little bit. To me, I don't know. I'm not really like a car guy. But yeah, no, we have plans for all that stuff.
Okay.
So, and we got a lot more stuff on the way too. A lot, like too much. Like too much. It almost would sound fake if I said it all. Like no, like it really would. Like to the point where I'm just like, it's almost exhausting talking about all this. Like not in an interview sense, like behind the scenes, like planning all this stuff. Like, okay, you got to be here to do this because it is like there's some like physical commitment, like to like songs and stuff dropping, doing videos with people.
Oh, yeah.
And pictures, all that stuff. Like a lot of people don't really think about all the physical, like just doing stuff, you know?
And speaking of that, you just shared some pictures of you and Trippie Redd. So,
Yeah, we have a song together. That's cool. It's
That's
more
awesome.
like a rock song, so it's not really like rap. But I think just because like we shot with like green lights and stuff behind us, people thought maybe it's like gonna be like some like rage stuff. But I'm like, I don't even when have you ever even heard me on a rage beat? I'm like, that's cool. I mean, it's like, I just never really, I don't even know if I've technically ever been on one, you know? So it's like, but yeah, a lot of stuff coming. I got like classic, like so much stuff coming. Like I got songs with even like Raekwon and Ghostface Killah.
I saw that. I think it was on your SoundCloud, right?
People thought that was fake. That was the funniest thing, because I like randomly like woke up one day and was like, oh man, I should drop this, and then because I have clearance for it, that's how I can drop all that stuff like randomly on websites. Like I could have dropped it on all platforms. I really should have, but like.
No, you definitely should. Yeah.
I just randomly dropped it on my SoundCloud, and people are like, where'd you get this old random, like, isolated Raekwon vocals from? Like, bro, from me? Like, from, it's just like, you know, I always thought, we got a big kick out of it, because on the song, he says, real rap. And my friend was like, there's not a chance he listened to any of your other music if he said that on a song with you. He's like, there's not a chance he's like, with all due respect, you know, there's not a chance he listened to a single other record. And I'm like, you're probably right, but I'm like, because, you know, like, I can do like I don't want to say any kind of rap, because that sounds like, because I'm not going to do stuff about like shoot 'em up drill stuff, because I don't shoot people, you know, even if I didn't want to admit to it, but I clearly don't, like, that's not. People can look at my background, like I've not fired a gun at somebody. Nah, hell no.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Like, but you know, to each their own. Some people have to do that stuff. You know, it's different situations for different people. I didn't have that situation, so it would be stupid in my situation to do that. I'd be dumb. But in other people's situations, I don't know. Shit. There's like wars out there and shit too, you know, and wars in here too. So, you know, hopefully that shit sorts itself out, but none of my business.
Yeah. You just dropped this project. You just called it Mixtape.
Yeah, because I told because I wanted my friend who produced the whole thing to name it, and then he never answered the text back. So I was just like, we're just naming it Mixtape, because I was like, you name it, and he just like, I got crickets. And it's like one of my best friends. He's talented, but he's just like, he's kind of on his own planet, if that makes sense. He just does what he wants.
Yeah, his name's Pac Boy Grazi?
Yeah, Pac Boy Grazi.
Okay.
Grazi. He's legit. He's man.
Yeah, y'all got some vibes on there too.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I make so much music. So it was like, it was easy to release just random stuff. Like the mixtape I have coming out this month is a pirate mixtape. Like that kind of lets you know I'm making a lot of music. If it's got to the point where I'm like, you know, I'm gonna make something that's kind of like pirate themed, and it really sounds like it too when you listen to it, because it's like shuffly and like that's the whole point of it. Like if you think about like the kind of like music pirates would make would be like more like skippy and shuffly, you know what I'm saying, more than like other music I've made where it's like some stuff I might make be more rock, or when I do stuff with like, you know, the old head, it's like, you know, I don't even use autotune. That's like boom bap stuff where like, I don't know, you just like basically talk. It's not that hard. I don't want to say it's not that hard. That's bad. Maybe cut that part out. But no, the hardest stuff for real is like the sing rapping shit, like the shit that was like the fast sing rapping, all that stuff. But then it's still having like to put lyrics in there, thinking about trying to keep it lyrical too. Yeah. It's like the shit Future do. It's like where there's lyrics, like melody and flow. It's like that's hard to maintain all those three things at once.
I mean, that's what makes him one of the greats, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Because I don't listen to people's music like that. He's one of the few people's tapes that I listened to, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
So Joy Boy, is that the name of the project, or is that a different one?
No, Joy Boy is the name of the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain that meeting. What is Joy Boy?
It's from a comic book and TV show, which is One Piece, which has just been going on since I've like been a little, even before, like, I don't even know how long. I think they've been drawing this shit since like, I can't even tell you for how long the motherfucker's been drawing it. I know the TV show's been on since I've been like, since I could remember, probably like 8.
Okay.
And I used to watch that and continue to watch it as an adult because they still make new episodes. Like legit, like they never stop making episodes to that whole thing. There's like thousands, well, over 1,000 now, which is just, and it just kind of like, I don't know, the show just like spoke to me, like the simplicity of it, but also like the, just being misunderstood. Like, I think like a lot of the time I'll be like a polarizing figure, and people like, just like how often, even, the show actually takes context from history, because like the pirates, like especially Blackbeard, was misunderstood, but Blackbeard in the show isn't, that's a bad example. But I'm talking about the character context of like how pirates are misunderstood. The real life Blackbeard was like very like polarizing figure, where people thought he was a lot more gruesome than he really was. But it was really just this like reputation or gossip around somebody that maybe looked or lived a little bit different of a lifestyle than people wanted, you know, which was kind of like rappers in a sense, like, or myself, you know. So I think like that's the one thing about One Piece that really relates to me, is just like, you know, they're really just trying to do what they're trying to do. Like, it's not really like, their mission isn't really like to fuck with people and whatever. They're still just trying to get done what they're trying to get done, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I'm trying not to, because my friend said, don't spoil it. You already named it Joy Boy, because I guess the title in itself is a spoiler for people who don't read the fucking comic book. But then I'm like, over here doing too much to some of the fans apparently, because I'm like, they're saying like, oh, just wait a little bit until the TV show catches up. And I'm like, man, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody even, I'm like, not as many, like some people watch this shit, but I'm like, it's always like, that's the one thing with the nerd, like the nerdier people and like that shit, you always gotta be on like, walk on eggshells. Like, I like that shit, but it's still like, you know, you always gotta be like very careful. But yeah, so it's just like, for example, you know, like they're just really just trying to like essentially explore, learn more about like the world in a sense, is a good way of saying. I'm not saying, you know, they're pirates, so there's still like pirate shit along the way that's, you know, some people might frown upon, but it's like still just a misrepresentation of like the duality of man, where people can be like, oh, you know, this person's a bad person, but in reality, like when you really get a close-up look to them, it's like they're not at all. It's just this kind of, you're told and you're conditioned to see all people this way as like being fucked up, you know? But
I got you. So is there a release date for it next month, or just next month?
No, it's coming out on Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So in a couple
for sure.
weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's dope right there.
And then I'm gonna drop another tape next month, and then I'm gonna drop a tape in December too.
So every month. Time to roll this music out, huh?
Yeah, cause I just got so much stuff. I got a tape with Brandon, and I got a tape with Trgc too, he's a producer.
Yeah, we had him on the porch. He's really
dope.
dope.
Been here? Oh yeah, I fuck with him. That's another one of my friends. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
He's
Did you link up with him out here in Atlanta then?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've hung out a few times, and
Yeah.
you know.
No, that's dope. You got a title picked out for that project with you guys?
Yeah, I do.
Holding on to it, or?
No, it's called Pop Star Degenerate, actually.
Okay.
Because it's like, I kind of made more like pop music with him.
Yeah.
And if that makes sense. It's not like on any kind of Yeet stuff, you know, because not that I dislike Yeet, I just don't really like know of him or listen to him, you know? It's kind of like younger generation type vibe. So for me, like, as I progressed doing music, I was like, all right, where's my sound gonna go from here? And I just wanted to, I don't know, just take things to another level. I feel like people like Future are almost able to hit you like, where it's like trap music or that kind of music, but it has like a pop element to it. So it's like, you're like, oh, this could be played on the radio, this can be played in the club, this can be played in the trap, this could be played anywhere. And that's the kind of music I'm trying to make, where it's like, you might hear my shit in Macy's, you might hear my shit, I don't even know, somewhere crazy, you know? It's just like, that's kind of like the vibe of it, you know? You just want to like basically appease all. At the same time, I don't like doing clean music. I hate that. I don't know why, even though the radios always play that. Like, they say, oh, you gotta do clean music for the radio. But it's just weird, you know? Don't you think clean music's weird?
Unless it's like made clean, then yeah, absolutely. Because they were showing up, man, they just had, something went viral. I think it was Waka Flocka. And they were like, they played the clean version of it. I can't remember if it was Hard in the Pain or something else. It's like half his verse is just blanked out. It's like, how did that even make it to the radio?
I don't know. You just got to make it up with DJ sirens, I guess.
But they were just literally just muting the vocals, and it was just like the instrumental played for half his verse.
Yeah, they gotta like, I don't know, almost have to like redo the whole song.
Yeah.
And like think of a different
I think that's
way
what
to
they
do it.
used to do. I don't know if people still do that, to where they would kind of switch up some of the words to make it more radio friendly.
Yeah, but it's like, with how much like kids are exposed to stuff on a daily basis, I think, like, I mean, shit, they proved crazy shit true about a lot of stuff in Hollywood, all kinds of stuff. I mean, with how much kids are exposed to on a daily basis, I think the, like, hearing fuck, shit, pussy, or whatever the fuck gonna hear in a rap song is the least of their worries.
True.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, you even see that on TV, to where a lot of words, like you hear bitch on regular cable now, where 10, 15 years ago, that was unheard of. But now it's like they let that shit slide.
there's situations where it makes sense. I've heard little kids say bitch though, so that like frequently, you know. So I feel like, and I think I hear a lot of people who are like squares generally like curse a lot more than you'd imagine. You know, they just know the situations not to do it, so they'll just do it behind closed doors. But I think everybody does it. You know, it's like, might be an example of that. I don't know. It's just something everybody does.
Yeah.
You know.
You and Lil Nar got some more music coming up?
Oh yeah, for sure. We got a lot of songs. I'm trying to think how many. We got one with Matt Ox on it too.
Oh really?
He's like,
okay.
He's from Philly. Yeah, you know. He's cool. He was down here for a little while in Atlanta. I linked with him. He's young still, like really young. I was like, damn. And he's like 17 or something. He's cool.
Yeah.
I was originally born in Philadelphia, but I grew up in Broward County, so like, they talk like different and stuff. That's the one thing, like, I have to get like used to, like, all the Philly people have like their own terms and stuff. I don't know what it means or anything. Like, we have some in Broward, but we don't have like a lot of like, man, they just, you know what I'm saying? They have their own way of talking.
Yeah, it's like two different cultures for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Atlanta too has a lot
Oh
of
yeah, absolutely.
terms that I had no idea, and the way people talk here too. It took me a while to like understand the accent, because it's like they talk. It's like country, but it's like really fast. So it's like I've never heard anything like that before. Before I came here, it's like, because it's like most country accents I heard were like slow, you know. Like you think of like, I don't know, just like people on horses and stuff. This is like, blah, blah, blah. It's like fast, like finesser country. Like doesn't even make sense. I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah, Atlanta's its own world. It's like its own country. Man.
Oh, for sure. I don't think there's any other city like it.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it's like, there's so many things that you can do in Atlanta that you can't do in other places. Like, for instance, like, okay, weed's illegal in LA, or I was just in Boston, weed's illegal in Boston, right? But it's, weed's legal. Yeah, weed's legal in both those places, but it's like weed's illegal in Atlanta, but you can smoke it in bars and shit.
You can smoke
So it's like in like restaurants, all that shit, they don't care. It's like they don't even need to make weed legal technically, you know. It's like it's already kind of is, other than the whole like, you know, arresting thing. But it's like LA, there's like only one place that's like a technical smoking place. Now there's like other like underground stuff where you can, for sure, but it's not as prominent as here at all. So here's really the only place in the world, I think, like that, you know. Like anywhere else is very much so like,
Yeah, they're a little more strict at other places. Here, it's just kind of like,
yeah, like they'll let you buy weed, but they don't really want you smoking it anywhere, which
they
is
kind of
weird.
want you to take it home and smoke it.
Yeah, but they still sell, like, people wreck weed and shit. So what the fuck are they gonna do with that? Like for instance, like they're still willing to sell to people from out of town. Like I went to Boston, I went straight into a dispensary.
Yeah, that's
Like,
how it
no
is. When
cap,
anyone
like-
goes to LA, it's like their first stop
Like-
is a dispensary.
Like you can walk right into the dispensary there, and I'm like, Boston, that doesn't sound right. Like, but it was real. The dispensary, it looked just like an LA one. And the only weird thing is their weed's in like tuna cans.
Really?
It's like in a can, you gotta like pop it. It's weird.
Like the old tobacco dip, right?
Yeah, like it's weird. But it's all right. It's not like,
It's still weed at the end of the day.
yeah, it's not like there's a lot of other states that are really far behind, like recreational and medical wise. Even Florida's not
Oh,
really
yeah.
that crazy too much now. Like the underground scene is still way more popping in Florida than above ground. You know, but yeah, Atlanta's definitely got just its own vibe. Like I think if they made weed legal here, wouldn't even really do much business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it might a little bit, but I don't think people would really care because it's like,
Everyone knows where to get it anyway.
that's what I'm saying. And then it's like, you got to think about like where they would be. They would all be in like downtown or Buckhead, maybe even a place. And then it's like, people would still have to drive to there.
Yeah, deal with all the traffic. and
That's the
parking.
same shit people are already doing. So it's like, unless you're bringing something to the table, like something crazy, like you know, like people aren't really gonna care. I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but
No.
I mean, somebody's gonna go. I guess like maybe people you wouldn't expect, like white people and shit, might feel like safer or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess.
So what's next, Ghost? We know you got all these projects lined up. Anything else you're working on right now, man? Even if it's outside of music.
Actually, yeah, I'm working on like an app and then a lot of other stuff. I'm working with other artists, signing other artists and stuff.
Okay.
But I don't always like to talk about that too much because I do want them to like be butterflies on their own, you know, like spread their wings and shit. But if you do see me working with anybody, they're probably just as talented as me, if not probably more talented than me. Because why would I sign somebody just as talented as me? Be a waste of my time.
Yeah. Yeah, I always feel like an artist should want their artist to be bigger than them.
Hell yeah, then I don't have to work anymore. Hell yeah, the fuck? Then I'm on vacation, man. And then perfect. I'm done. Fuck those mixtapes. You feel me? Then it's like shit. Get your hit songs. Done. I'm done. That's the thing. Like people think I'm tripping. Like when I'm like, man, when I'm probably not gonna be rapping like when I'm like 30 and shit like that. People are like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I was underground my whole career, never intended on being anything more than that. Now I got songs with like Future, Uzi, Trippie and shit. Like, I'm thinking the train's gonna go off the cliff. I don't wanna be I wanna be successful in a sense, but I don't wanna be like, even, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, this is gonna probably be like the end of the fireworks show.
The grand finale, they say, right?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Maybe there'll be more. I'll see how I feel, but it's just like, I'm not like pressed for that stuff. Like I constantly make music, so I'm not saying I won't like put out some other low-key stuff, but it's like, I might just go right back underground. Like, really.
Yeah, sure it's a lot more stress-free.
Yeah, I just don't care. That like, for the, like, I want to say I care what, like, in some way what people say, or like, cause in some way I feel like I, like, not even like I feel like I do, I feel like I should, right? Like when they talk, like somebody will talk shit about record drop or whatever, and I'm like, there'll always be something about it that I didn't like already that they'll never even talk about. And they never, so I'm like, damn, they don't even hit the nail on the head. I'm like there's something that I could have said about it worst, and they never even get to it. And I'm like, man, y'all are weak. Y'all just like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like something in the water now or something, but the kids used to just be like worse. They used to be like harsher and like get to me more. Now they just suck. No, like, I mean, like now like the haters are just like, they just like, I don't know, they're like low T or something. I'm just like, they're just coming at me like, I don't know, whiffing. Like, man, nothing sticks anymore. It sucks. Like I used to feel challenged, you know, or something. Or I feel like empowered by like people being like negative. Now they're like negative, but they're just like, it's too generic. I'm almost questioning if they're real. It's like, how many of these people are real, or like even in the world? You know, it's like, I see people walk around like, man, like, sometimes I'll be on the street just trying to smoke, and I'll like watch the street beforehand. Like, okay, so nobody's walking down that street, and I'll like time the people. I'll be like, nobody walked down, so I'm good. Walk over to that street. Bunch of people walking down. Why is that? I'm like, this world is not real. That's like proof of like, I didn't want to think simulation shit and stuff, but that's gotta be, because I'm like, okay, now I'm standing here, now people are just here to fuck with me, I guess. If that's what it feels like. It feels like, especially when you're trying to smoke in like a random area, like, and there's just like, I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I'm always like, I'm too old to be getting into misadventures like this. Like just like randomly like going, but you see, I don't really like come that deep with a lot of people. Like if I come with people, they're probably all doing jobs or whatever at that time. Like, you know, it's not like, cause some people come with more people, I imagine. Like, like, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But y'all don't even have that many chairs. Oh, you do. A little bit, I guess, but it's
There's
just
a bunch over there too.
Yeah, but it's like, that'd just be a waste of time. Not to disrespect anybody who does move with a lot of people, because I do know people that do, and they're cool. But, you know, it's just like, it's just not for me, you know? I'm just, yeah.
I got you, man. You got shout outs you like to give before we wrap it up here?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out my company, High and Mighty Entertainment. And I want to shout out. Oh yeah, I guess, because people are gonna find out anyways. I want to shout out my artist, because he's fire, Trgc. I don't know if you heard of him. He's from this area. He's fire. You'll see.
Okay.
I'll say that. Like that's why y'all see, like, especially when I work with artists, like you'll see, like there's a lot of people where it's like I said, I won't work with somebody for no reason. So, I think it's fun to work with other people, because it's like you get to finally see the perspective of like music and stuff from like the outside in, where you're not so like involved. I say that meanwhile I'm like producing records for him, hopping on some of the records and then stuff. Because that's another thing a lot of people don't know. I make beats too, so I'm shout out myself as a producer, because I feel like, why not? If people need, that's one thing that I'm probably want to do more of in the music industry, like eventually just make beats and other stuff, because I play guitar, I'm classically trained in guitar and stuff, so it's like, rather do that. I don't know, who do people normally shout out?
Family?
Oh, fuck. Shout out my family.
I got the hydro and lean, little bit things that I need. Her, I got the money and means, little bit you don't have either. I got the hydro and guap.